Welcome back to AFL Riverina TV. I'm Lauren Markham. Well, the king is dead. Collingully's run at a third straight flag is over after an extra time loss to Mangoplah on Sunday in Griffith. The Goannas return to Robertson Oval to take on Leeton-Whitton in the preliminary final. The winner will be back at the same ground 7 days later to take on Wagga Tigers in the grand final. Joining me in the studio is Mangoplah captain Trent Cohalan. Trent, how's your heart?
Yeah, it's not too bad actually, because obviously on the field everything's going 100 mile an hour, but I think there would have been a fair few nervous coaches and their hearts would have been pounding.
Now, where does that game rate in terms of importance and excitement?
Well, I think being a sudden death, the importance of it was huge. Obviously against Collingully, who had knocked us off in the past two grand finals, I think the boys sort of got a bit of a rise out of beating them as well. So certainly good to gain some momentum leading into this week.
Now, your focus is on this year's grand final, but like you said, down gully on the way. Does it kind of get you guys a little bit of redemption for the last 2 years?
Oh, it's nice to knock them out, but I think obviously they've got the bragging rights on the board from the last 2 years winning grand finals, and that's really every club's aim going into every season. So nice to knock them off, but doesn't really make up for the last couple of years.
And what are you most pleased about your game coming out of that win over Gully?
I think our forward movement and forward pressure was pretty poor against Leeton. The ball movement into the forward line was poor, and against Collingully we really fixed that up and changed a new structure, and it really seemed to work for us, and we managed to kick a lot of goals, which is what we need to do to beat Leeton this weekend. Well,
like you said, Crows this week. What do you need to do different compared to the semi-final a couple of weeks ago?
I think we probably need to get the ball in quicker and longer. On a couple of weeks ago when we played them, they managed to drop a lot of numbers back and managed to smother our forward line. We need to move the ball a little bit quicker and get it in quick, and hopefully we can get a couple of marks inside 50.
Now, you guys are quite a young side, but the Crows have a bit of experience in their side. Curly, Conroy, Irwin. Are these guys the key to their game?
Yeah, they are. Those three that you just mentioned were their best players. When we met them a couple of weeks ago, Curly, of course, cross half-back, just took mark after mark from our forward entries. And obviously Conroy was probably their best player against us, so he's a real focal point for them in the middle, so he'll need to be shut down.
Now, will you get a job on him on the weekend?
I don't think there'll be a full-blown job on him, but I think at some point we're going to have to really have a look at him and play more of a defensive role than we did in the game a couple of weeks ago.
Now, we've had two Mango players on the show this year, Ryan Price and Andrew Dickens. Both stepped up for you guys on the weekend. What's the difference up forward against Gully on the weekend compared to when you played against Leeton?
I think it was, like I mentioned earlier, we got the ball in a lot longer and a lot quicker, and it gave Ryan Price and Andrew Dickens time to be one out against their opponents. They're both very good marks and very strong in the body, so if we can get the ball one out to those guys, they can do the rest, and then we've got some pretty quick forwards like Tristan Dixon and Willie Keogh coming in at their feet, so obviously if we get the ball in quick, then it gives our forwards every opportunity.
Now, no matter who goes through out of you or Leeton, Tigers will go in as the favourites in the decider. What does it take to stop them?
Just immense pressure, I think. Every time they're under pressure a little bit, sometimes you can make them crumble. I think when we played them out at Mango, we put a bit of pressure on them and had high tackle numbers. And I think that's the key to beating them, is really piling on the pressure. And then at the end of the day, it's going to be who can outrun who on Robertson Oval in a week's time.
Well, thanks so much for coming in, and all the best on the weekend.
Thank you.